Welcome to Nuka Knights. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great time in the wasteland. If you want to support Nuka Knights, make sure to like this video, subscribe the channel and activate all alerts. This helps the YouTube algorithm to spread the video and grow the channel. In this Fallout 76 video, I will show you all the expected changes for the next update on 3rd June 2025. The update will end current Season 20 and start Season 21, which is called Gone Fission. This update will not only come with a new season and fishing, it will also bring a lot of perk card changes and balancing, as well as some quality of life changes. Let's get into it. As always, feel free to use the chapters on this video to jump to your favorite section and check out the written article on nukaknights.com. To start with fishing, you need to finish the new quest called Casting Off. Therefore, you need to visit the new location called Fisherman's Rest, which is right beside Valley Galleria in the east of Appalachia. Here you will meet new NPCs. The one you will probably notice is the giant hermit crab called Linda Lee. She's the pet of the fisherman. The one you need to talk to is Captain Raymond Clark. During this quest, you will already receive your first fishing rod. And you will get a short guide how to do it. Stand by deep water and select bait to fish with. Cast your line and reel in when a fish pulls the bobber below the surface. Keep the fish within the catch zone until it reaches the center of the circle. Your fishing rod is now in your inventory. You can't actually see this in your inventory, but you will always have it with you. To start actually fishing, you need to approach to any water surface. There's a new option to fish, just hold the key to start the fishing mode. On the bottom there are several options now. Down here you can switch the bait. You can choose from common, improved and superb bait. The better the bait, the higher are your chances to catch something rare. Superb can only be earned in the season currently, so we won't have a lot of it. Common bait can be bought from the fisherman or Captain Raymond Clark, and you will also be able to get it from some camp collectors. Improved bait can be earned as a reward from events like Encrypted, Scorched Earth, A Colossal Problem, Seismic Activity, Neurological Warfare and all other public events. And also on caravans. Now we cast the fishing rod to actually catch something. When the bobber gets pulled underwater by a fish, we can start reeling. While doing this, the fish will move around and we have to always keep it inside of the light area until it reaches the center. And that's it, we just caught a small fish. On the cooking station there are new recipes now. You can now craft fish bits and other fish meals with the fish you caught. These fish bits don't have any interesting effect, but you can give them to Linda Lee and get some rewards. You can get any 1, 2 or 3 star legendary armor, power armor or weapon from Linda Lee. And here is a small guide graphic again. Complete fishing challenges to earn rod upgrades and reel in tougher fish. Convert fish to fish bits at cooking stations to use in recipes or feed them to Linda Lee for rewards. Discover rare or elusive fish to display in your camp by experimenting with different bait, locations and weather conditions. Let's get into the weather conditions. First you need to know there are 3 weather conditions: clear weather, rainy weather and red storm or nuke weather. Every condition has different chances to catch rare fish. I'll get into that later. You don't have to rely on environmental conditions. You can also set up a camp at a desired fishing location and power up a weather control station to get the weather for specific conditions. And here are the weather control stations you can use. For clear weather you just use this standard weather control station. For rainy weather you use snow aurora or thunderstorm. For red storm or nuke weather you can use Mothman, Nuke Zone, Red Storm or the Skyline Valley weather control station. Fishing also comes with new challenges. Completing the challenges unlocks new plans to upgrade your fishing rod, for example. In this clip you can see the Catch Any Fish challenge completed, which unlocks a plan for a kelp curtain. Here you can see all the fishing lifetime challenges and the rewards each. I'll also list them in the written article on NukaKnights.com. Next, let's talk about the new daily. It's called Big Fish in a Small Pond, and you can complete it with Captain Raymond Clark at Fisherman's Rest. Mostly it's about fishing in different areas, and there are several rewards you can get. Alright, let's finally talk about the drop rates of fish. This means the chance to catch certain types of fish and also axolotl. I also mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of weather conditions: clear, rain and nuke, which is also valid for red storm. Each weather condition can be controlled with your weather control station in your camp, as I explained earlier. Next factor is the bait. So when you use common bait in clear weather, you get 88% chance to catch generic fish, 11% common fish, 4% uncommon, 10% junk. Yes, you can also catch junk. 0% for axolotl and 1% for glowing and local legends. But local legends can only be caught at 3 locations in the game: Wavy Willets Water Park, Big Maw and the Organ Cave. Nowhere else. So if you're somewhere else, this 1% for local legends drops to 0. What you can see from this table is the best chances are always using super bait. And if you want to catch axolotl, you should use super bait in rainy weather to get a 33% chance. And if you want to avoid getting junk, you should mostly use improved bait. Junk only drops if you use common bait. There are numerous different fish you can catch, as you've seen the different categories on the drop chance table already. Depending on the bait, location and weather conditions, you can catch the following types of fish: generic fish, common fish, uncommon fish, glowing fish, local legends, axolotl, and if you're using common bait, you can also catch junk. If you're interested in seeing all the fish, you can check out the article on NukaKnights.com or check out the fishing video guide and data mining video. Axolotl are a rare catch in Fallout 76. Only one type of axolotl appears per month and can be caught in specific regions. As you can see from the drop chances table, rain and super bait are the best ways to catch axolotl. In June we will start with the banded axolotl. In July there will be the scaled axolotl. You can also check out the video on the best ways to catch axolotl. Next, let's talk about the perk card changes. The first changed perk is Adrenaline. This one has a new effect: gain plus 10% damage per kill while on a kill streak, max 10, which means you get 100% bonus damage after you've killed 10 enemies. When you're in an event, you will easily get this 100% bonus damage. And this is what the bonus looks like in your Pip-Boy. Next changed perk is Dodgy. This one has a plus 5% chance to evade. Evade no longer has a cooldown, instead it costs AP. So the rank 2 and 3 were removed. This doesn't work in power armor and doesn't work when you're over encumbered. The dev note says the AP cost is 10 times the cooldown time. Cooldown scales with damage avoided, meaning higher damage attacks cost more AP to avoid. If you would not have enough AP to pay for the evade, it cannot occur. Next is Enforcer. This was changed to work with small guns, which means rifles, pistols and shotguns. This was the perk before, and the other one looks like this. Your small guns gain a 5, 10 or 15% stagger chance and plus 25, 50 or 75% limp damage. Next is Goat Legs, and here was the second rank removed completely, and you don't take any fall damage at all if you use this perk. And I can show you a quick video about this. Here you can see I'm at the monorail elevator and I'm getting to the highest point now. So I'm at the top now and you can see the nice view. And I will jump off this monorail elevator now and we will see how much damage we will get with this perk. Goat Legs is equipped. Let's see how it works. Now that was pretty smooth, don't you think? No fall damage at all. The perk works like it should. Next is Home Defense. This one is no longer required to build any workshop traps. Moving target doesn't give any resistances anymore, but gives a chance to evade now, 5, 10 or 15%. Travel Agent doesn't reduce the fast travel cost anymore, but lets you fast travel while over encumbered at an increased cost. And this increased cost can be scaled up to 6,000 caps. When you're 5 times your carry weight, this scales 100 times. That can be quite expensive. Next is Cam Fiend. Any cam you take lasts 100% longer, and the second and third rank were removed. Dromedary was also buffed to 100% and removed the third rank. Hydrofix doesn't generate less thirst, but now restores thirst. And rank 2 restores thirst twice as much. Same does Munchie Resistance do for hunger. Slow Metabolizer, all food satisfies hunger by additional 50% or 100%, and rank 3 was removed. Armorer was reduced to one single rank now. Gunsmith removed rank 4 and 5, and it also is no longer required to have it equipped while at the workbench. All these requirements for perks while crafting were removed. Makeshift Warrior does the same. Also 4 and 5 rank was removed, and it's also no longer required to be equipped while crafting weapons. Nerd Rage works a little different now. While your health is low, gain increased damage and AP regen. This was the perk before. And now it's just one rank with 2 points. It was reduced to a single rank, now costs 2 points at rank 1. Removed the damage resistance effect, now grants damage and AP regen starting at 80% HP and scales up to your health becomes lower. 20% HP is actually 40% damage boost and plus 15% AP regeneration, and when you're at 5% health, you get 80% damage boost and plus 30% AP regeneration. And here you can see how it works in the game. Nerd Rage is on 90% AP regeneration and plus 52% damage bonus, while I'm at 16% health. Next is Powersmith. This also was reduced to one rank, and it's also no longer required while crafting at a workbench or a power armor station. Science now has a different effect, and it increases energy damage based on your intelligence. There's a linear upscaling damage bonus of up to plus 50% on 100 intelligence. Obviously you can't reach 100 intelligence on normal ways, so that's just a calculation example. When you're on 50 intelligence, you get 25% bonus damage. Also, this is not limited to a specific type of weapon or just rifles or something. Any weapon that deals energy damage can be buffed by this perk. Same goes for Science Expert, which is now Pyrotechnician. This increases your fire damage up to plus 50% on 100 intelligence and scales linear. Also, Cryologist, former Science Master, also increases the damage, but this time for cryo damage, and is scaled based on your intelligence up to plus 50%. White Knight was moved from agility to intelligence. The commando perk was completely changed and renamed to Center Masochist, and this one now deals plus 25, 50 or 75% range damage when targeting the torso. This is also no longer limited to rifles, it works for any ranged weapon. Fast Fighter is the former Expert Commando perk, and it increases your reload speed based on your movement speed bonus. So when your Speed Demon Mutation applies a movement speed bonus, this will be applied as reload speed bonus. Also, they removed rank 2 and 3, and the point cost was increased from 1 to 2. Ground Pounder was changed to work with all small guns, which also includes pistols and shotguns, so rifles, pistols and shotguns. And this applies a 30% reload bonus also. I can also show you how this works in the game on the PTS. Check out this reload speed with both perks applied. That's less than a second. The EPR is also doing pretty fine on the reload speed. Next is former Master Commando, now called Number Cruncher. Your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. So maybe now you don't want the lowest AP cost anymore. The former Rifleman card is now called Downranger, and it gives you 10, 15 or 20% range damage to far enemies. Far enemies are a distance of about 4 camp foundations. Scoped Up is the former Rifleman Expert perk. Your scoped weapons have 50% more range when aiming. Second and third rank were removed here, and this is interesting for single shot rifles. Smart Shot is the former Master Rifleman perk. Deal plus 25% weak spot damage while aiming a scoped weapon. This is also interesting for single shot rifles. Long Shot was also changed. They removed rank 2 and 3. Your scoped weapons have 30% more range and accuracy when aiming. Skeet Shooter was changed and they removed rank 2 and 3, and this perk now works with all small guns, which means rifles, pistols and shotguns. Your small guns have 45% better accuracy and spread. Sniper was also reduced to 1 rank from 3. Gain improved control and hold your breath 75% longer while aiming scopes. Tormentor was also reduced to 1 rank from 3. The point cost was increased from 1 to 2. You deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. The former Shotgunner perk was changed to Easy Target. The new description is plus 25% range damage to crippled targets, or 50 or 75. So it's not only shotguns anymore. Any weapon that shoots at a crippled target can deal more damage. The former Expert Shotgunner perk is now Love the Spread, and this extends the range of any weapon that fires 3 or more projectiles. Shotgun Champ is the former Shotgunner Master perk, plus 10% damage to crippled targets per projectile your weapon fires. So also not bound to shotguns anymore. Scatter Shot is also a crippling perk. It was also reduced to 1 rank from 3, and the point cost was increased from 1 to 2. 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs of the target. The perk Fireproof is no longer required when you build a flamethrower trap in your camp. And the last perk that was changed is a legendary perk, which is Blood Sacrificed. And this was changed to Using AP in VATS. Using AP in VATS now consumes HP instead of 150, 125, 100 or 50 more cost. Now let's talk about the weapon buffs and balancing. Since all Commando Rifleman and Shotgunner perks lost their flat damage bonus, there are a lot of changes to buff these weapons in their base already. The first buff goes to the harpoon gun, because we're getting a harpoon gun in the season, which is called the Icebreaker and has some interesting cryo effects. The base damage was increased from 195 to 245, now has a bleed DOT which deals 20 physical damage per second for 15 seconds. The reload speed was also increased by 10%, and the ammo capacity increased from 1 to 3. That's also interesting. Delay between shots increased by 25%. Crit multiplier increased from 2 to 2.5. Sneak multiplier increased from 2 to 2.25. And weight decreased from 16 to 14. Next, the light machine gun and the Tesla automatic barrel have removed their AP cost increase, which is good. They have lower in AP cost now. Adjusted the out of range damage multiplier for the following weapons: black powder pistol, combat shotgun, crossbow, cold shoulder, shotgun, pepper shaker, everything from 0.25 to 0.5. Lowered base AP cost for the following weapons: Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle. Keep in mind, this Assault Rifle is pretty good now. The Fixer, the Combat Rifle, Radium Rifle, etc. Also, the V63 Laser Carbine was reduced in the AP cost. And now the actual damage buffs increased the base damage for the following weapons: Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle from 33 to 66, the Combat Rifle, the Fixer from 40 to 59, which is lower than the Assault Rifle. My experience was the Assault Rifle is actually the best commando weapon at the moment. The Fixer has a note also. This weapon no longer has an additional 20% damage bonus over the Combat Rifle, so the Fixer is going down. Radium Rifle also got buffs: Submachine Gun, Railway Rifle buffed to 112 base damage. Laser Gun was buffed, Ultrasight Laser Gun, still a little higher than the Laser Gun. Plasma Gun, Enclave Plasma Gun, which performs really good. I'd also tried this. 10mm SMG, Combat Shotgun to 150, quite nice. Tesla Rifle was buffed, the Lever Action Rifle was buffed, Double Barrel Shotgun, Cold Shoulder, Hunting Rifle to 171. The Gauss Pistol was buffed again, the Gauss Rifle was buffed to 279, the Gauss Shotgun to 285, V63 Laser Carbine was buffed, the Pump Action Shotgun was also buffed, and the pipe weapons were buffed. The Pepper Shaker was buffed to 95, the Black Powder Rifle, the Dragon, to 541. And the following weapons no longer receive an AP cost reduction from their automatic receivers: the Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, Fixer, Radium Rifle, Submachine Gun. Adjusted the base critical attack damage bonuses for the following weapons. Everything mostly adjusted from 2 to 2.25. Some adjusted from 2 to 3. The Lever Action Rifle, interesting. I like this one. Also the Hunting Rifle from 2 to 3. Also the Gauss Rifle, also an interesting single shot rifle. Adjusted the sneak attack bonus for the following weapons: Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Assault Rifle, etc. Also the Lever Action Rifle from 2 to 3, Hunting Rifle 2 to 3, Gauss Rifle also. Looks pretty good actually. Automatic receivers for semi-automatic weapons now have the following: 20% reduction in critical attack damage, 20% reduction in sneak attack damage, instead of a 10% additive reduction in damage for most automatic receivers. And this affects basically all popular commando rifles. Combat Shotgun automatic receivers no longer increases AP cost by 10%, now has 30% increase in attack speed, up from 10%, now has a 10% reduction to base damage, critical attack damage and sneak damage. Weapon mod adjustments: the Gatling Plasma Beam Splitter mod adjustments, fire rate reduction -20% to -35%, damage bonus 20% to 35%, cone of fire and recoil increased, range reduced, projectile count 4 to 5, ammo capacity reduced by 50%, AP cost increased by 50%. Plasma and Enclave Plasma Splitter mod adjustments: fire rate reduced by 35%, range reduced, ammo capacity reduced by 50%, damage bonus 15.5 to 35. I haven't seen anyone using a splitter on these weapons actually, but maybe you can use it now with the new perks. Plasma and Enclave Plasma Flamer mod adjustments: AP cost set to 30, reduced by 30%, ammo capacity set to 300, increased by 400%, removed 40% bonus damage, now has the same penalties to damage minus 30%, critical attack damage minus 20%, and sneak attack damage minus 20% as other semi-auto weapons. So there are several other adjustments and a small reduction in the base damage of the plasma gun, Gatling plasma and the Enclave plasma gun, and also the Auto Axe and the V63's Zweihänder got an adjustment in their damage, was lowered for the Auto Axe from 31 to 24, and the V63's Zweihänder was reduced to 64 and 64. Next are melee buffs, and basically all melee weapons got buffs. There's the Beer Arm was buffed from 50 to 63. The Deathclaw Gauntlet was buffed from 55 to 69. The Electro Enforcer was buffed from 35 to 44. The Gauntlet from the Settlers was buffed from 50 to 63, which is my favorite unarmed weapon most of the time. The Meat Hook was buffed again from 34 to 40, which is not that good. Mole Miler Gauntlet was buffed from 45 to 57, that's quite nice. Also the Power Fist was buffed from 58 to 73, that's really interesting. Also the Super Sledge was buffed from 85 to 107. And the Warglaive from 82 to 104. Also the Galpos Mecha was increased in base damage. There are also changed legendary effects, which are mostly buffs, because Bloodied has a changed effect, increased peak damage bonus from 95% to 130%. Gourmand increased limit from 24% to 40%. Instigating plus 50% damage against targets above 60% health, that's also a buff. Juggernauts now scales based on your HP directly, not a percentage, increased the cap to 100% damage at 1000 HP. Also Junkies got an increase limit from 50% to 100%. Maybe Junkie builds are interesting again now. Mutants increased limit from 25% to 50%. Nocturnal was completely changed, and the weapon bonus is now plus 50% damage while cloaked. And the armor effect is plus 20 damage reduction and 50 energy reduction while cloaked. The armor also gives you plus 4 perception and agility while cloaked. This is a whole new effect. Also, Stalkers has a new effect, now increases sneak attack damage by 100%. Two Shot also got a buff and increased damage buff from 25% to 75%. Resilient on 3rd star now increases all resistances by 500 when reloading. It's much better than before. Vats Optimize, the 3rd star, increased bonus from 25 to 35. Bullies, the 4th star mod, changed to plus 25% damage per crippled limbs the target has. And Conductors was changed, the 4th star mod. Critical hits restore 10 health and action points instantly, and 100 more over 5 seconds for players and teammates within a 100 feet radius. There is a dev note about this. Dev note: the original effect was granting more HP AP than intended even after our fix. After evaluating multiple playstyles, we found there was too much variance in build performance, with some weapons benefiting vastly more than others, while bringing up the performance on the low end and maintain a strong but reasonable top end. We landed on a flat value instead of a percentage with a duration, so more playstyles can benefit from this effect. And the last changed effect was Pinpointers, the 4-star, changed to a plus 20% weak spot damage bonus. There was also a changed mutation. Adrenal Reaction was changed, now grants plus 5% damage per kill, 6.25% with strange in numbers. On idle you see this status: Adrenal reaction plus 5% damage per kill while on a kill streak, minus 12 HP, and after 10 kills you see this in your Pip-Boy, plus 63 damage bonus, plus 6.25 damage per kill while on a kill streak. This was with stranger numbers and on a team with a mutated team. And on the right bottom there's a new icon, this one. And this shows the number of the kill streak. Now let's check out some changes to Crippling. No more immunity to Crippling for many enemies. Some of the Crippling and limp damage changes already made it to the live game in the last patch. We are making changes to the way that enemy limbs are affected by various effects. The mods, perks and weapon mentioned below previously had a chance instantly cripple a target, but now they deal a percentage increase to the amount of limit damage dealt. We expect that these changes will make most enemies easier to cripple while making limp damage more consistent and predictable. It also results in making crippling enemies like region bosses more difficult, requiring more focused fire. These changes will also allow us to remove cripple immunity from many creatures and leverage limp and crippling in more engaging ways moving forward. The perk Enforcer was changed, as I mentioned earlier. Your small guns gain a 5, 10 or 15% stagger chance and deal 25, 50 or 75% limp damage. Also Tormentor was discussed before, moved from luck to perception. Rank 1, you deal 20% more damage per crippled limp your target has. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Also the Black Powder Rifle, Bone Hammer and the Dragon now have a plus 50% limp damage instead of a chance to cripple. Also all these listed weapons have a plus 50% limp damage now instead of a chance to cripple the target. And these enemies are no longer immune to crippling. The Grimbot, Dr. Blackburn, the Sheepsquatch Imposter, the Imposter's Sheepsquatch, the Blue Devil, the Ogre, the Jersey Devil, the Lesser Devil, the Trox, the Strangler, Grafton Monster, and several daily ops enemies that are all listed here. Now let's talk about the Cannery Workbench, which I introduced earlier this year. With this workbench you can produce canned food that doesn't spoil. This will probably make it possible in the future to get by without the perk Good with Salt and the Cryo Freezer. But not for now, because the list of canned food is not complete. The description says, introducing the Cannery, can your food and it'll last forever. To craft canned food you just need a prepared meal, a prepared food, and a clean can, and you can craft the clean can on the Cannery Workbench. Beside the Datamining list we also got this official food list from the Bethesda Discord a few days ago that includes all the food that will be available as canned food. It's the aged Meyerlurk Queen Steak, the Meyerlurk Queen Steak, the Meyerlurk Soft Shell Cake, Awesome Opossum Bacon, Red Scorpion Steak, Poached Angler, Sting Wing Stew, Tasty Squirrel Stew, Ribeye Stew, Firecap Tasty Soufflé, Glowing Fungus Puree, Mega Sloth Mushroom Soup, Glowing Fungus Soup, Gut Shroom Soup, Vegetable Medley Soup, Swamp Tofu Soup, Sweet Potato Stew, Goat Soup, Corn Soup, Fish Soup and Grilled Fish. Cranberry Relish, the first canned meal I found, was cut earlier on the PTS, so we can still hope this will be re-added later. So there's no cranberry relish at the moment, also no brain bombs or something like that, also no melee buffs, sadly. Yeah, I hope they will add it in the near future. Next is a nice feature, which is the exact HP bar. The HP bar is now divided into 5 sections of each 20%, and the exact percentage is displayed to the right. This allows you to see at a glance whether certain effects or perks are currently active without having to check the Pip-Boy. This display was previously only available to PC players through mods. Now it's finally standard for everyone. In the settings, you can now set the Quick Heal Stimpack priority. This means you can decide whether Healing Salve or Super Stimpaks are applied first using the Quick Heal button. Also, speech to text was reactivated on 9th May 2025. The speech to text and text to speech features were reactivated on the PTS. Accessibility, we have re-enabled speech-to-text and text-to-speech functions. Please take some time to enable both options and provide us feedback on how they perform. Actually, I didn't try this. Maybe you already know the Season 21 is all about fishing. It's titled Gone Fission, and there are numerous rewards that await you, obviously. There's a new ally called Dottie. She's a ghoul and she has some wild conspiracy theories. That's quite interesting listening to. We also get the Cannery in this season. There's a new Fallout First survival tent with all the workbenches, also a bed and an instrument. There are new weapon paints, new player titles, new fishing rod bobbers, letter sets, vinyl records, and a new weapon called Icebreaker. It's a new harpoon with its own cryo effects and a bash cryo effect and a faster reload. You can also check out the video I made about the season rewards. I will show you the image gallery of the rewards now. This is the Gone Fission hat. There's some snorkel goggles. There's the DSSBNUD t-shirt and jeans outfit. Oh, by the way, do you already know what DSSBNUD means? It's Dottie's stock of significantly benign, non-confidential and unrestricted documents. Now, this is Dottie, your ally, the ghoul lady. There's a dirty pond where you can collect dirty water. Here are some fish hooks where you can display fish you caught. Some fishing rod display. Fish head fishing rod display. Some bottle clutter for your camp. A buoy. Some drowned spotlight lamp. Some fake taxidermy mermaid. Basket of dead fish. Fish nets for your camp. Some lily pad platforms. Vinyl records, the bottled octopus, then there's a dinosaur again, another dinosaur, the sea serpent statue, there's a fishy stein, more vinyl records, the drowned chase lounge, some neon signs, more neon signs for your vendor, for example, the cannery, the hanging dollfish, the seaweed scrap box, the seaweed stash box. There's the houseboat, which looks the same like the survival tent, the Poseidon arm wrestling machine, the Gone Fission camping cooler, which is not a freezer, several Fish of Appalachia poster from all the regions, the Gone Fission wall art, the hanging fish net, more vinyls framed for your walls, letter set, the blood letter kit set, and there's the goo letter kit set, the DSSBNUD poster, a taxidermy shark jaw, a lot of new player icons, new player titles, backpack flares, a new backpack, new weapon paints, like for the auto grenade launcher, Spitfire chainsaw paint, combat shotgun paint, fishing rods, ruby reel fishing rod paint, the Spitfire paint for the Gatling gun, looks like this. The Spitfire paint for the Ripper, the Spitfire paint for the Pepper Shaker. There's also a Tesla cannon paint. There are several bobbers: fishing rod bulb bobber mod, fishing rod Nuka bobber mod, and here is the survival tent. This is the houseboat survival tent, and as you can see, it has everything you need in it. All the stash boxes, a barbecue grill, a workbench, a Perk card machine, everything you need. And this is the icebreaker harpoon, which has a cryo effect, a cryo bashing effect, and a faster reload. And finally, there are also a lot of new Atomic Shop items, and let's check out some of them. There are 6 new collectors for your camp. There's a fish trap, which collects fish, just the small and medium fish, no rare fish. The description says, why stand around when you can let the fish come to you with the fish trap? This is how it looks like. You can build it in your camp. There's also the live bait barrel. Have a fresh selection of fishing bait available in your camp to help you catch some fish. It generates common and improved bait, which is quite nice. Actually, this improved bait is quite helpful. Common not so much, but improved is nice. Otherwise you will get improved bait from the public events. Next is the Vault-Tec Games cupboard, which generates board games. There's another Red Games cupboard and a Mix-O-Matic that generates cement. And there's also the Whirl Wizard, which generates paint cans. And here are also a bunch of water-related items and a new power armor. Here's a cabbage palm, a fishing buoy, some floating lily pad, some floating mold pile, some floating rusted toxic waste barrel, some floating trash pile, life preserver, which is floating too, painted float, tiki bar stool, tiki bar, some fishing cooler cryo freezer, some floating dock floor, a boat, the Appalachian Contessa, some backpack flares, a new power armor, which is called Hydrotech Exo Power Armor Paint. There are some preview images. Looks like an old diving suit. And some fishing rod paints. Well, one fishing rod paint here, Charmcaster fishing rod paint. That's all for this video. Check out the written article on NukaKnights.com. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Check out the Nuka Knights app. It's available now on Google Play Store for Android smartphones and tablets. The app contains all features you already know from the website. If you have a login already, you're ready to go. You can now access weekly new codes, current daily ops info, season progress, data mining news, latest events, build guides and other Fallout 76 news directly from this app. Get it now on Google Play. And don't worry iOS users, an iOS app is also under construction.